Hi, welcome to this episode of UmattR TV. I'm Izzy Kelly. I go to Farmington High School. I play tennis and I'm the Vice President of National Honor Society. Now let's introduce the rest of our team.
I'm Ashley Broadbent. I go to Piedra Vista High School and I play tennis and am a member of NHS.
I'm Korbin Peterson. I go to the San Juan College High School. I am the class president of 2024. I'm also in National Honor Society and I like playing the piano.
I'm Hannah Freeman. I go to Piedra Vista. I'm on the soccer team, the swim team, and I'm the president of our NHS.
Okay, now why don't we share our stories? So I will go first. My story is about having a parent struggle with being addicted to alcohol, and my parents were divorced when I was really young, and I wasn't really able to see my dad a lot, and so I feel like that really affected me growing up just because I felt like different from the other kids. But I was able to have a mom that really supported me and made sure that I knew I didn't have to make the same decisions as those in my life that were making bad decisions, and that she loved me and cared for me. And I think this led to me wanting to do UMattR because I want other kids to know that having good friends is so important so that you don't fall into like drugs and alcohol, because it will never make you successful in the long run.
Okay, so in November of 2021, me and two of my friends were hanging out, and we had seen these older kids post on, it was like Instagram or Snapchat or something, a video of them with a sled tied to the back of their car, and they were just driving around a parking lot with it. So me and my friends were bored, so we were like, okay, that looks like fun, let's go do it. So we went and we found that parking lot with the sled, and we tied it to the back of my car, and we were just like driving around with it. It was pretty fun at first, like I won't lie, but after like 15 minutes of driving around, I was driving and my friend Savannah was on the back of the sled, and this time we were going down a little hill. So as I was like driving, she kept speeding up behind me, and so to avoid her hitting the back of my car, I took a turn, but when I turned, she flew around the side of my car and fell out. We thought she was okay at first because she got up right away, but so besides a few like pretty noticeable scrapes and bruises, we thought she was okay. So we decided we would go back to my house and kind of figure out what to do next. But it was on the way back that we realized she definitely was not okay. We realized that she couldn't remember what had just happened to her, and then we realized that she couldn't remember anything from that day, and then we really started to freak out when we realized she couldn't remember anything from months before. She went to the hospital and we learned that she had a severe concussion and amnesia. She couldn't remember anything from 3 months before the accident. So this was really hard for me after. I felt a lot of guilt for what happened to her because, I don't know, I was driving, but her family was really good to us, me and my other friend. They invited us to family dinner the next day, and they forgave us because they knew that we were young and we were going to make mistakes. So their decision to forgive me really helped me to be able to forgive myself. And it's just so important to think about the decisions we're making in our lives, because if we would have just stopped and thought about what we were going to go do, we maybe could have avoided a lot of pain for Savannah and a lot of guilt for me and my other friend. It would have just been a lot better. Yeah.
All right, so my story kind of starts when I'm in 4th grade. So when I was in 4th grade, I took some testing for the school that I was in to kind of just like gifted tests and stuff. But when the test results came back, we found out that I had dyslexia. And while I had dyslexia, I also was gifted in math. And these are two kind of opposite things, because dyslexia is a disability that makes it harder to read and learn new things. Well, math, I mean, being gifted in math, it doesn't really use as much like reading and English skills. So I was really good in math, while on the other hand, I was kind of really bad at English. And after 4th grade, I was moved to a new school where I didn't know any of the people in my class. And in that new school, a lot of the boys in my class, they noticed that I was really bad at reading, even though I was supposed to be gifted in math. So they just always made fun of me and saying things like, "Korbin, if you're supposedly so gifted in math, why can't you just finish your math problems on time?" And they would say these type of things all the time to me every day, and it hurt my feelings a lot. And I remember specifically, there was one time where it hurt my feelings so much that I just couldn't hold it anymore, and I went out into the hallway and cried by myself because I didn't feel like I had any friends. But one day after being bullied, I was just so sick and tired of it that I sat down and I wanted to figure out a plan to not let it happen anymore. And I realized that all the bullies had to say, it was just their words. It wasn't anything that actually meant anything to me, because I was the only one that could control my own actions and my future. So after about 2 years in that new school, I moved back to school with the rest of my friends, the people that I had been in school with before, and none of the people who had bullied me in the last school moved back with me. But even after I wasn't being bullied anymore by those boys, I still saw other people around me in my new school that were also being bullied. And I was able to recognize that because of the experience I had. And knowing how it felt to be bullied, I was able to make a lot of new friends with the other kids that I saw being bullied. And I was really able to help them out. And the overall message I just learned from this experience was, you know, no one else can control your future, and don't let anyone else put you down because they don't like you or they think you're different than them, because you're the only person that can control your future and make your own decisions.
That's really good. My story kind of starts whenever I was really little. Growing up, I always really struggled with anxiety, and a lot of it was like social, like new social situations, being around lots of people, making new friends and stuff. And so my mom decided that it would be best if I was homeschooled growing up. And so from the time I was in about kindergarten to high school, my mom homeschooled me. And this was a really good option for me, I think. I feel like I learned best at home, and I still had like my friends from church and stuff. But when I got to high school, I decided that I wanted to go to public school, just, you know, to like be with my friends and stuff. And so after COVID, I transferred into PV, and it was just kind of like a big change for me, not just like from my whole learning environment was different and stuff, and like I went from not being around lots of people every day to being around lots of people every day, and I still struggled a lot with my social anxiety and stuff, so like it was pretty hard, but I think especially just like seeing all of like so many different people living so many different lives, and like in so many like different paths that I had like never seen before, I guess, because I was like homeschooled. I never really saw any of that stuff, and so there was a lot of like pressure to like act a certain way or like hang out with certain people and stuff. But I kind of just learned pretty quick that it's really important to make good friends and to like make good choices, because you can so easily fall into the wrong path and stuff. And so I was lucky enough to make some really good friends that encouraged me to stay focused on school and stay focused on my sports and stuff, and made kind of the adjustment a lot easier. And yeah, so I just, try to preach to the little kids that it's really important to make good friends, and there's a lot of peer pressure, there's a lot of opportunity to make bad decisions, but as long as you have a good support system and good friends by your side, it's pretty easy to make good decisions too.
I agree. All right. Thank you everyone for sharing your stories. So I had something I've been a little curious about like the interview process. So we were all interviewed, and it was pretty scary for me at least. What was your guys' like overall opinion on like yourself, how you did in the interview? Like just describe your experience, I guess.
For me, I was so nervous. I was like rambling a lot, and I felt like I kind of just repeated myself a lot, like during my story and stuff. But overall, I felt like it went okay. I don't know. Everybody was super nice, and so it made it a lot easier. But
okay. Korbin?
Okay, so I probably way over-prepared for the interview, but basically I really wanted to be in UmattR, so I read the emails about kind of what the interview process would be like over and over again to kind of like understand what I should do. And then for my story, what I did, about a week before the interview, I got on my computer and like wrote out a whole like 2-page story and then like edited it so it would just be just perfect. And then like the day of the interview, I spent like 30 minutes just like reading it over and over again to kind of like get it in my head and just memorize it so I wouldn't have any problems saying it. And then when I got to the office for the interview, I was kind of nervous. It was kind of funny because while I was waiting for my interview to start, I had been kind of waiting there for a while, and then George and Jillian, who were also on the UmattR team, they had gotten there and they were waiting for their interviews too, so I was like, oh, we must be pretty behind because there's a lot of people waiting here. But anyways, when my interview finally came, I was kind of nervous because, I mean, maybe it was just the atmosphere, but Greg and Vicky kind of seemed like they were judging me a lot for some reason. I don't know if it was just because they weren't smiling or whatever, but I just felt like I was being interrogated. Like it was terrible. But then afterwards, after the story was finally over, I just felt really good because I was like, I did perfect for my story and I just said everything I wanted to say. So I left with a lot better feeling than when I came.
Well, that's good. I feel like I was really unprepared for my interview. The morning of, I was like typing out my story because I was like, I'm not going to remember. So I typed it all out and I printed it out. And then during my interview, I was all fidgeting with my paper. I was like, and trying to remember everything. And I feel like I left out a part of my story because I remember telling one of my friends that also interviewed, I was like, I left out a part of my story. And so I was really scared when I left my interview because I honestly didn't think I got it. But
yeah, well,
yeah.
For me, I was so stressed. I remember it so well. Like, everyone that I had talked to was like typing out their stories, but I just couldn't do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna forget it. And then right when I got there, I was like right after Riley, I think, and she like had a notebook and she was like walking and I was sitting by, I don't even know, like Peyton, and I was just like, oh, I can't do this. I just want to go home. And then I saw Riley, and I like just got called to my interview, and I was like, oh, like how did it go? And she's like, oh, I nailed that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't do this. And then I go up here, and I was like so nervous. I cried, yeah. I was like bawling, and they kept handing me tissues. And I was like trying to finish what I was saying. So I left, and I was like, I can't believe I just did that. Like I probably won't get in. And then I found out when I was like with Mariana, who's also on the UmattR team, and her older sister that was also on the UmattR team was the one who told me. She was like, oh my gosh, you got in. And I was like, no way. So I was very surprised.
I think I was like 15 minutes late to my interview because I was standing outside of the wrong door for like at least 20 minutes. And so, yeah, I was definitely late. But
well, sort of like staying on that same topic, what's like your guys' favorite thing that we've done so far, like in terms of events or like assemblies or just like a cool experience you had with like a kid?
I honestly just really like the assemblies. Like, as everybody's telling their stories, just like watching the kids' faces. And like today, when Peyton was telling her story, like just kids kept coming up and hugging her. And it's just like so cool seeing those things happening around us.
Yeah, my favorite experiences being on the UmattR team are also probably related to experiences with the kids that we go to the assemblies for. I think I remember one time there was a kid who came up and he's like, you're my favorite. And that just like, it hit me. Like, wow, we're actually like having an impact on people. And it was just really cool.
Yeah, I had a kid come up to me, I think it was last week, and she was like, I struggle with anxiety too. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be okay. Like, and I think it's just like seeing that the things that we struggle with and the things that we've gone through, these kids are also going through it, and it's like, it's really cool to see like we are really having an impact on them.
Yeah, I am like the most emotional person ever. Like, I cry so easy, and I cry all the time. Like, it doesn't matter where I am. Like, one time I cried in a Chick-fil-A because I saw an old man eating alone, and like none of my friends will let me live that down. But I almost cry like every assembly. Like, honestly,
Really?
I cried
there's
at today's
always
assembly.
something that happens. Like, I know, like, we've already heard everyone's story, but like it still is so powerful, like listening to everyone. And I feel like there's something new every time. Like, something new sticks out to me, and it just hits home, and I'm like, oh, like, breaks my heart for these people. But then it's like, I'm just so happy that, you know, everyone else has been like strong enough to be where they are and like express that to the kids. I think it's really impactful.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
I guess straying away from that a little bit, having some more lighthearted conversation. What is your guys' opinion on mustard?
Mustard?
Yes.
Mustard
No?
should
No.
be like illegal.
Okay.
What?
Absolutely hate it.
No way.
I will never eat mustard.
This
me
is
neither.
awkward.
You
like
like
mustard?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like mustard too.
Okay.
What do you put mustard
Yeah,
on?
this is the
Yeah.
real
It depends.
question.
That's what the biggie
Nothing
is.
should
Where
be
does
the
it go
answer.
on?
What do you like the mustard on, though?
Basically just hot dogs and hamburgers. but
Okay.
Sometimes, like, if it's honey mustard or something, you might put it on something else. But like,
Yeah. I'm talking just yellow mustard.
just regular mustard.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I eat mustard on my carrots.
What?
What?
This is a shocker every time. I knew I had to bring this up.
Uh.
Yeah, it's so good. You guys have to try it. It's
I probably
No?
won't be
I don't know
Okay.
if I'll go
Mustard
that
makes
far.
me like want to throw
Okay.
up.
Well,
I absolutely hate it.
I like don't like it on even like hamburgers, but I'll eat it on some carrots. Like, it's ranch for sure.
I kind of used to be the
Okay.
same way, like disliking mustard, kind of the same way with mayonnaise.
Oh.
Like growing up, I never ate mayonnaise. I was like, it's just liquefied
love
eggs.
mayonnaise.
Like,
Oh,
why would I
that's
want
so
this?
gross.
Mayonnaise, mayonnaise are not good.
Yeah. Would you guys say you guys are like picky eaters, or like would you eat anything?
I'd eat basically anything.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but
I'm a super picky eater.
Really?
Like, I will, if I haven't had it before, I'm not eating it. Like, there's, only certain things that I'll eat.
mhm.
That's understandable. I grew up with like two older brothers. Not for very long. They both like were old enough to go live with their dad when I was like, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7. But I remember that they would eat everything, so I would eat anything because like if I didn't eat what was being served, then I just wouldn't eat, period. So
Wow.
I was the first one to like, oh, let me have that, or they would take it. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions you've been wondering about right now?
I could probably think of some with a lot more time, but
Okay. What's your favorite way to like relax or relieve stress? So I feel like this would be important for a lot of people to hear.
who wants to go first?
Yeah.
For me, I love to play the piano. It's
Oh.
super
Really?
like stress relieving, and I just
Really?
sit down and I just play.
Yeah. That's
my
good. Do you
answer.
like take lessons, or do you just do it for fun?
I don't know how many years, quite a few years,
Oh,
but now I
really?
just know enough to just like play what I know.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Is that same for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of songs do you play on the piano?
Mostly classical music.
Ooh,
Classical
classical.
music. That's nice.
The piano, it sounds so pretty. I wish I
Yeah.
could play. Everyone's so surprised I don't, but I don't play any instrument. I played the
Me
guitar
neither.
for like 3 weeks, but I didn't like really know how. I just wanted it for Christmas, and now I still have a guitar. So
I used to take guitar lessons, but I don't know how to do anything anymore.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Corbin plays like, what was that song you played that one time? Viva la Vida.
ooh,
That was pretty
That's a
good.
good song.
really?
I
It
don't
was
know
in
if
a
I can play
random
that one anymore.
restaurant somewhere in Durango.
No, it
Everyone
was.
was just
It
playing.
wasn't Durango. It was
Telluride? The
not Telluride.
Uray?
Yeah, it was Uray.
Ooh,
The
Uray
most
is
like
so pretty.
random out there
It was
town.
just a
There was just a
piano.
piano at this hamburger joint
So
while we were
Corbin
like
was just
hiking
playing
or
away.
something. That was a good day.
That was.
Do you have a favorite way to relieve stress, Ashley? Something you do?
Like to sleep a lot.
Sleep
Like
a lot.
if I'm super stressed, I just sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to play tennis, so sometimes
Yeah.
I'll just go out there and like just hit a bunch of
Yeah.
serve
Mhm.
for like hours.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I like doing like breathing exercises or like yoga. When I was like really little, my grandpa lives in Monticello, and I would like go over to his house, and it's just like the best memory for me for some reason. Like he would always like make really good food and like a smoothie, and then we would do like breathing exercises on like the couch, and like nothing can be crossed when you do breathing exercises. So like your whole body's just like flat, and then he has like special music, and then I would take a nap. And so now whenever I get stressed out, I'm just like, just sit there and breathe for a while.
That's so cool.
The funny thing is, when I'm stressed out, I can't sleep. Like, I can't relax in any way.
We're opposites.
I have to like,
Switched.
I don't know, do something like physically to like de-stress. Like go running or like go bike a really long bike ride or something, I don't know.
I feel like exercise is a great way to
Yeah.
relieve stress because your mind's just like completely off of like whatever's going on, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to go and do like hikes too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just kind of being out in nature.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go sit in my hammock for a while.
Ooh, you have a
I'll
hammock?
sleep in there sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
so cool. I love hammocks.
I always go to like Burke Park and just like sit in my hammock and just sit there. It's fun.
Do you guys have a dream like vacation spot?
Nope.
No?
I want to go to Switzerland so bad.
Switzerland is
Oh,
I
so
just want to
pretty.
go and see a fluffy cow.
Switzerland.
What's a fluffy cow?
It's like a baby cow that's like fluffy.
Like a fluffy cow, like a
Like
Highland.
they're
Highland
not like
cow?
a
Is that what they're
normal
called?
cow. 'Cause you know how like their
They're
hair is really
cute.
coarse. Like a fluffy cow, it's like soft and it's like
Yeah, it's like a
like it
cow
was
and
just
a
had a
dog,
blowout.
like mixed.
Wait,
They're cute. Have you? It's like, what are they called? Highland
I've never
cows.
heard of a fluffy cow before.
Huh.
Dang.
I can't be the only one who's never heard of a fluffy cow.
Have you heard of a fluffy cow?
My
Yeah.
sister's obsessed with them.
I love them.
So I guess
I
it's
have like a
just
bunch
like
of fluffy
one-
cow stuffed animals.
You gotta go research some fluffy cows now.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go look up fluffy cow videos when I get home.
As you should. I love fluffy cows.
Switzerland, that's very
Mhm.
pretty.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
I didn't even think about my own answer. I really want to go to Greece. My brother's older friend, his best friend is like from there, and so he has a bunch of family there. And I remember when I was younger, he'd always tell me, he's like, if you ever want to go to Greece, like, come along, but it's not that simple, so I'm still waiting to go. Yeah. Korbin?
I don't know. I love Farmington, which kind of sounds really weird.
Wow.
So probably just because I've lived here since like as long as I can remember. But I just don't really know any other places that I'd like rather go because like this is where all my family is. It's where I've grown up my whole life.
Just a homebody.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would like going somewhere like, I don't know. I like Durango a lot, but that's literally just
I don't
So
know if
that's
that's a
kinda
vacation
disappointing.
spot, but it
Dream
could be.
vacation is Durango.
Hannah, do you have one?
I really want to see the Northern Lights. I don't know.
That would be
That
pretty
would-
cool.
I can't even like comprehend what they would look like. So I don't know.
Mhm.
That's
It's like something I want to experience for sure.
yeah.
I just went
So-
to Alaska.
Oh,
and then
oh yeah,
Sydney,
you.
and it was so sad.
Really?
Nope, no Northern Lights.
Oh, that's so
Crazy.
sad. Did you eat lots of salmon while you were there?
I hate fish.
Oh.
I
I
will
love
never
salmon.
eat seafood.
Have you guys ever tried like honey salmon? It's like the best food ever.
I
Honey
love
salmon.
salmon.
It's so good.
What do you mean
You put
honey
mustard
salmon?
on that too.
No.
Good.
I mean, you could, but I don't.
I like
It's like,
smoked salmon.
yeah, that too. Salmon's just so good overall. Honey salmon's just like,
Interesting opinions.
A
salmon.
glaze? Or?
It's a glaze, but it has like honey in it.
so it's just honey on salmon.
No, but the honey like crystallizes and it like, the flavor like
So
mixes
funny.
with the fish.
Oh, okay.
It's super good.
Okay. Hannah? Wait, what was the question?
Dream
Dream
vacations.
vacation.
No, you
Yeah.
already.
And the Northern
Yeah,
Lights.
you
I don't know
already
where
said
you
it.
would go to see those. Like up north somewhere?
I think like the
Alaska.
Somewhere
Yeah.
on
Alaska?
the
Am I wrong?
poles.
or like
Oh.
can't you see them from
Canada?
Canada?
I think in some
I could be
places in
wrong.
Canada.
I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not that great at geography, but
neither.
I guess on
Mhm.
the same note, do you guys see yourselves like still living here after you graduate, or like what are your plans for college?
I want to go to college in Utah. That's like all I know. I don't know where in Utah, but somewhere in Utah.
Do you know what you want to study?
I have
Okay.
absolutely no idea.
I guess the only reason I have such a specific answer for this is because last year I had like a panic attack about like me not knowing what I wanted to do for my future. So I spent like a whole week like trying to plan out the next 5 years or 10 years of my life. Just because I was like not being able to sleep because I was so stressed out.
I've been there before, but
Yeah, I want to go to BYU in Utah. First, I want to go on a mission for my church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And I have no idea where I'll be sent, but I just want to serve a mission. Then go to college for 4 years. Then go to medical school to become a surgeon of some sort. And then after that, just like, I don't know, probably somewhere in Colorado or Four Corners area. I like the Four Corners a lot.
That's cool. I've been looking at a college in California,
ooh,
Mhm.
so yeah, I'll probably end up somewhere not in New Mexico.
yeah. Do you have an idea of what you want to study or no?
I'm thinking either like history or political science because I want to go to law school.
Ooh, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Gavel, perfect.
Yeah, you're getting practice with that.
Mhm.
Let's see. I don't know the exact college I want to go to, but I want to study international relations, and I think I want to study abroad, and then I want to be in the FBI for like counter to terrorism.
Really?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
That'd
so
be
cool.
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I went to a program a few summers ago where in Albuquerque at their like general office, and I got to like tour the whole building and meet with like all the agents, and it was like the best experience of my life. I was so scared too because you had to like do an interview process for it, and I was like, this is gonna make it or break it for me if I want to do this. And it's like something, I feel like it's really scary when you're like our age, I guess, like older teenagers, because I feel like when I was younger I knew like a lot more what I wanted to do, and then as you get older it just becomes so much more realistic, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Takes some
That's
work.
awesome. though.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else on your guys' minds?
So you guys like history people, geography people?
Yes.
Really?
I love history.
I
Especially, like,
history, but I don't
government
like good
stuff.
geography.
I'm not good with
I
either.
can't stand those classes.
Either.
Does everyone have their phones with them?
Yes.
Okay. Show us your favorite, most recent, like picture in your camera roll. You'll be able to explain context too.
Oh no.
Oh,
So-
I'm scared.
oh, my phone's off. Turn it on real quick. I don't know what's
Okay.
on my
Do you want me to go
camera.
first?
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have it?
Yes. So I took it yesterday evening. Actually, not yesterday evening. Saturday evening. So for those of you who don't know, I work at Aspenley Frozen Yogurt, the frozen yogurt shop on Main Street. And just next door is like the Taco Libre shop that's been in construction for like the last 3 months.
Oh.
And I've heard a lot of people like interested in when it's opening.
Mhm.
And then just last Saturday, I saw that their open sign was on and that they were serving people in it.
Oh,
So-
cool.
I was
just
wondering about that.
Just
Took a
random
picture of Taco Libre.
In the
Texted
open
it to my
sign.
mom.
Wow.
Okay. I guess I'll show mine. This is like very recent. This was on Saturday for homecoming, since FHS recently had homecoming, and I went to take pictures with like my group at Berg Park, and like my like everyone's parents went, and my little brother was there, and then I got a picture with him, and it's so sweet. He's 9, and his
Aw,
name
your
is
dress
Riker.
So pretty.
That's
you.
so cool.
Okay.
My most recent picture was Friday. I like never take pictures.
Guys. Oh my gosh.
We were playing laser tag, and my friend, I don't know what he was doing. He was
Oh.
running
Okay.
around or something, and he slipped and cut up his entire leg. It was actually really funny, but
Ouch.
no, he's okay. So
Well, that's good. Mine is a screenshot of my friend's Instagram story because she went to a Cincinnati Bengals game and she met like one of my favorite NFL players because he's really good looking, and so I sent a screenshot of her. I sent a screenshot of her story to her and was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. That's so awesome. I can't believe you met him."
Who was it?
Yeah. His name is Andre, and he plays for the Cincinnati
I thought it was
Bengals.
going to be like Joe Burrow.
Oh, no. That's one thing me and her don't agree on is I
Oh.
hate Joe Burrow. She loves Joe Burrow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
Who's
hot take.
Joe Burrow?
Actually, doesn't even know. He's a quarterback for the Bengals, and that's about all I know about football. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed listening to us, and thank you all for participating. Bye.